We're going to talk first, if you want to talk about combating financial threats to democracy, I think you need to first understand that we're being drawn, in my opinion, into fundamentally a hybrid war with authoritarian leaders of mafia states, which are by definition interconnected, organized criminal syndicates that have hijacked nation states at the highest levels of government. This makes potential enforcement of your laws and your sovereignty incredibly difficult. Any suggestions I might make, or others in this party might make, regarding how to intervene on problems will likely face nation-state level resistance from leaders who exploit the current systems. Moises Naim termed Mafia States in a 2012 paper after studying the leaders of some South American nation states. Countries commonly assessed right now to be Mafia States include Russia, Venezuela, and North Korea. There are several others. I actually sense that the United States is on a fast trajectory to becoming a Mafia State too, based on a number of actions I've observed in the past 6 months. Anyone, including us who are in this room, who wants to hold them accountable will be perceived to be their enemy. They unapologetically deploy zero-sum politics and are known to inspire political violence. Most of their tactics fit within a definition of hybrid war, including how they leverage social media and cryptocurrency, which I'll discuss in a moment. I define hybrid warfare loosely as war by any influence method short of violence. Europe has certainly experienced it, mostly from Mr. Putin's disinformation campaigns, economic and energy blackmail, reputation assassination, threats to undersea cables, etc. Social media and cryptocurrency offer force multipliers for mafia state leaders because they amplify a divide and conquer strategy, which is a common strategy deployed by authoritarian campaigns, as described by New York University historian Ruth Ben-Ghiat. These actors identify, agitate, and entrench tribal communities. Once they've entrenched people into belief systems and communications echo chambers, they often defraud them to help monetize their cause. They further radicalize them to fund and deploy fear and intimidation campaigns that degrade opposition power. In this context, and this is based on work that we have from our university colleagues, I can easily micro-target you based on data that you leave on your social media platform. That allows me to know what your existing grievances are. I can then entrench you in memes, and I can further radicalize you, from which I can then monetize very heavily from you, and then I can also weaponize you. And there has been plenty of research to indicate that some of the messaging that goes through this does in fact increase the probability of terroristic action. Steve Bannon recently discussed the strategy in a New York Times podcast at the end of January, where he said, we, quote, viscerally stoke grievance. It's easy to entice followers into money for crypto and meme asset platforms, which can and often do provide liquidity for things like foreign election interference, political bribery, and profiteering to support political movements. What we do know, however, is that crypto and meme assets have already become what I consider to be a financial cesspool that is leveraged by many of the darkest actors on the planet. Chainalysis reports, for example, that roughly $150 billion of funds flow supported criminal activities in the past 3 years, and TRM Labs has documented crypto use to support drug trafficking, cybercrime, human trafficking, child sexual abuse, murder for hire, war sanctions evasion, terrorist financing, espionage, and bribery. We also know that crypto is too frequently hacked, and these major thefts are used to fund weapons development and growth by the North Korean mafia state. What is really important, I think, here is that mafia state leaders are not reliable partners. You cannot rely on their internal enforcement systems because their enforcement systems have been neutered, compromised, or weaponized. This means that prosecution of any corrupt actions must happen by you and outside of their jurisdiction. Your enforcement of your sovereign laws will be spun and perceived as an attack on their sovereign rights, even when it's justified under your sovereign laws or international law.